Hey, what's going on, everybody? Oh shit, I don't see a number. Oh, there we go. There's the number. I got it on correctly. Let me just make sure I got this on public, so I'm not talking to myself. And I didn't win the pool, the office pool. I had Miami. The other three people had the Rams. I pulled up to the tie with the Miami win, but the tiebreaker went by points. Tiebreaker went by points. I had 47. And that game was very slow. What was it, 23-15, guys? Terrible. Guys, when you pop in, hit that like. Let's go. Hey, it's waiver wire Wednesday. We got 11, 12, 13, 14 in fantasy. 11, 12, 13, 14. We got 4 weeks left. The races are wide open. I don't think I'm making a move. We got a cluster of buys at week 12. Not too happy about that. The only good thing is my team points league, where you got to be the best or the worst. My teams haven't won a game in about 5 weeks. I'm so thrilled about that. I knew I could mush a couple teams. They explained it to me. They're like, oh, you could try to win or lose. They both win. I'm like, oh, I know I could mush 3 teams. I know it. Baker, I like picking on Baker, but he started so good. But now it looks bleak for them. Bears, atrocious lately. Happy about that. And the Raiders, the only reason they didn't lose is because they were off this week. My teams are not winning nothing. I'm loving it. Hopefully, I must be pushing towards the basement, which is a good thing. Tell you what, these waiver wires are thin. There is no need to make over moves. I just traded half my team for different guys. There's nobody in the JFFL. There is nobody like around in these waiver wires, and we only got a 10-man league. It is slim. Running. Where are all the players? The best running back in our JFFL that's out there on waivers is Madison Ford. That's nothing. Oh, okay, Nate, I got you. Got you, Nate. I got to multitask a little bit. These guys are sending me trades. Since the Newt shook up the league, me and my blood brother Zolman, since me and Zolman shook up the league, guys are scared. Fellas are scared. We got a lot going on here. Let me see who he offered me. Ooh, the trade deadline is this week. You will not be able to make or accept any trades after this week's games. I know it. That's why I grabbed DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, Mooney, Chad Brown. What's his name? You know I grabbed those guys. And Jennings. Okay, let's see, Nate the Great. What'd you give me here? Kareem Hunt and Stroud for Adams. Oh, man. You know what? Jaden Daniels has a bye for me on week 14. I actually need the quarterback. Shit. You know what? I might do it, Nate the Great. If I take Kareem Hunt and CJ Stroud, I just found my backup for week 14. You get Adams. I like Hunt. Now, who would my starting team be if me and Nate the Great are doing a trade right now, possibly, T-Rich? Me and Nate the Great right now. Right now. No, it's not me. What do you mean, please stop? Why am I always the bad guy? I was on live talking shit like I do, and he's like, and I get a text. It's Nate the Great. And he's like, Nooch, check your trades, accept, reject, or counter. He told me like shit or get off the pot, Nooch. So I said, oh shit, my bad. And I checked, and now I gotta make. I think I might accept it. How about that? Guys want to trade with me. I'm a fucking wheeler and dealer. Guys want to make trades with me after last week. 2-0 since the deadline. Saved my season. I was 3-5, made a couple trades. Here I am, 5-5. T-Rich, woo. You know, he wants to give me CJ Stroud and Hunt right now for Adams. Voila, here I go. Higher and higher. I'm doing it, I think. Wait, why wouldn't I do this? I have Jaden Daniels. His bye week is week 14, Tyler. Week 14, I got no backup. If I take Stroud and Hunt, I got a horse of a running back. I could go a little extra running backs. I'm not afraid. Montgomery, Najee, Kareem Hunt in the flex. Fuck these scrub receivers. Like I'll go Najee, Montgomery, Tracy, possibly Hunt. The four horsemen. I'll go 4 horsemen, Tyler. Oh, he's trying to. Oh, look at Nate trying to get a fast one on me. Oh, that's a reject, Nate. Oh, I almost forgot about that. You know, T. Rich, thank you, bud. You know, I would have took a peek, but I've had enough errors. I've had enough errors to not see that Pacheco's coming back. I got to reject that. You know what? Let me make a little counter. All right, we don't want Hunt because Pacheco's coming back, but we do want Stroud. So if I give him Adams, how's Swift doing this year? Let me see. I don't know. Nah. I'm going to stick with Devontae, even though that snarky, bad attitude old man at quarterback is not making me happy on a week-to-week basis. I'll tell you what, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I got to reject this trade. I think I can't do it. Later, I got to look again. Decline. I'll tell you what. When you go on a winning streak and you haven't lost yet, it might be time to hit the pause. T. Rich, I'm hitting the pause. I'm going after Bono. I'm going big game hunting. This week. I want Bono. I want Bono this week. 8-1, huh? Let's go. I'll chop them down. Let's go. I want Bono. That's why I sent Bono, the guy from U2. U2? Is it U2? Yeah. Did you see the Giphy? That's Bono. I don't know. Maybe I'm so old you don't even know who Bono is, but we got a guy named Bono. That's why I sent the Giphy of Bono. Did you even know that guy's name is Bono, or are you guys so young that you don't know who U2 is? Holy shit. Oh, man. You know what? I had to go on tonight. You know why? Because I don't give a shit about Klay Thompson against Embiid. Like, what the? Like, I don't know. I'm not into the NBA yet. Oh, Embiid's debut tonight or Klay's return? What are you more excited about? None of them. Klay on Dallas right now reminds me of like Charles Barkley on the Rockets. If you don't live through that, where the guy's like old and like washed, but if you want to just keep like, unless you see it once, you don't know that Klay is completely finished already. It's like, oh, he's on Dallas. What's gonna happen? Nothing's gonna happen, guys. It's not gonna move the winning needle at all. Promise. I've seen this shit with Barkley on the Rockets, with Drexler and Olajuwon. I saw Olajuwon go to the Toronto Raptors at the end of his career when he was 40. They put him with Vince Carter. Oh, it's going to be like Shaq and Kobe. No, it's not, because Olajuwon was 40. Man, what's the Lakers are winning? Well, forget about basketball right now. It's waiver wire Tuesday. The guys are nervous in our league. Let's see what's going on. Bono, look at these standings, man. Bono 9-1. I haven't seen a 9-1. I don't think I've seen a 9-1 in a long time. And I think in my league, Carmelo's 9-1, is he not? Let's see. Wow, we got 2 9-1s. Carmelo and Bono. Wow, I'm playing against Bono this week. I'm going big game hunting. You know what? That I want to play the best team right now, because there's going to be a week where nobody does a thing for him. He's got to have a stinker. There's got to be one stinker on the resume this year. There's always one stinker, I believe. Let me tell you boys a little history lesson. The year Chris Johnson ran for 2,000 yards, I had the number 1 pick in my fantasy league. I drafted Adrian Peterson, number 1 overall, best running back in the league at the time. Then I drafted Chris Johnson on the comeback. I don't know why. He was the 2,000-yard running back that year. Adrian Peterson had like 1,750. I went 13-0. And then I got knocked out round 1. I got the bye. First game I played, out. Didn't even make the Super Bowl. 13-0 team. Bad luck happens in fantasy a lot. I don't know. It must be a Paul Riz and Tyler stashing guys letting kickers go for a couple days because our waiver wire is thin. And maybe 4 or 5 guys are onto this strategy because this fucking waiver wire is looking a little thin to me compared to the other leagues. I got to see how many of you nut jobs have no kicker right now and like an extra roster guy. Because if 6 of you do, that explains it. Holy shit. The best receiver on our board is Jerry Jeudy. And the best back on our board is Madison. Yeah, oh yeah. But we got every kicker in the whole league on available. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. Let's see. Tight end Dalton Schultz. Wow, I haven't seen this long neck bastard in a long time. Who? Somebody just got rid of Dalton Schultz. I haven't seen him unless I just haven't been looking for tight ends because I got a couple. Oh man, let's see. Dicker the kicker, Sanders, Bass. I don't see the usual suspects. I'm going to start checking your guys' roster. I want to see what you guys are doing right now. Hospital Heroes got a kicker. Yes, he does. Wow. Hey, T. Rich, don't you know Nick Sirianni is the biggest knucklehead ever? Like he turns down field goal attempts for no reason when he should kick it. You better be careful with that Philly kicker. Be careful. I know he gave you a 10 burger, but be careful with that Philly kicker. Who's my two? My two what? My two backs? Wow, you got Connor and Mason's back, so that doesn't. Connor, how could you bench Connor? Oh, McCaffrey and Kamara. Damn. You, Tyler, if you have James Conner on your team, you have a running back that's having a career year on a first place team. Like, you need to realize that immediately. You got to find a spot for Connor, I think, in your lineup. I don't know. Like, I'm not 100%. Nobody's 100%, but I feel like you might need to find a spot for Connor. You know who's a big disappearing guy? Devontae Smith. Oh, there he is. 3. Oh, you should probably say, Devontae, thanks for being on the team. But Connor, like when you got a big fucking week and you need somebody in your flex to be a high floor, I'm surprised you started Devontae Smith over Connor this week. Connor's a bulk running back. Bulk. That's what I think when I think of him. Let me see his carries. 12 carries, 33 yards. How did he get all those points? 5 catches for 80 yards. Damn. The one slow running game he had 5 catches for 80 and a tutty. 22 for Connor. His lowest rushing game, but he had his highest fantasy points for the year. I'll tell you what, man. He's ranked number 9 in the running backs for fantasy. He's having a good year. That's a nice pickup, T. Rich. Dalton Kincaid hurt his knee, T. Rich. He might not even be there for you. So, I wanted to talk to you guys. I want to bet the MVP. I want to make a couple bets right now. Who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. It's a nice time to get it in. We're in double-digit weeks, so we don't have to wait like 3 years for the end of the season. It's going to come before you know it. We're hitting Thanksgiving, then you got Christmas, then you got January. Before you know it, you got your end of the season bets. So MVP, my personal opinion, just off the rip, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be the MVP. Now, I haven't looked close enough yet to back that up. Just the way I feel, the way they keep winning, I think Mahomes has got to be the front runner, especially if something crazy happens and they get by Buffalo and the Chargers and Denver again. There's tough games. Like you can't just say, "Oh, that's a win." No, the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh going to be tough. The Bills this week going to be tough. Denver. Did you see that game? Tough game coming up in the next one. Unless they played already once. I don't think they did. Man. NBA tonight. Let's see how we can get robbed on the NBA. These NBA games are tough. Hawks, Boston. Well, first of all, let me check the MVP odds. I don't want to switch sports. I'm acting like I'm by myself here. All right, more NFL. I want to see the MVP odds and what the odds are on the favorite. Season awards. Here we go. MVP. Lamar Jackson is plus 110. Wow. Back-to-back MVP. I think everybody should stop disrespecting Lamar with the Jaden Daniels shit. Got to stop that. Lamar's going to be a 3-time MVP now, and you're saying like, oh, don't you dare compare Lamar to Daniels. Lamar's not good. Like, yo, hey, are you stupid? Like, don't get that much amnesia. Like, are you watching? Lamar hasn't been perfect, but he's been the MVP for 2 straight seasons now, and this year he picked it up even more. This year is the second year with that coordinator, and you can see the difference, big time. Josh Allen is second. That's a nice one, plus 360. Mahomes, let me tell you something. If the Chiefs finish with the best record in football, they swapped their number one, their wide receiver 1, and their running back 1 for 2 30-something-year-olds, put them in, didn't miss a beat. They had Rice and Pacheco. Now they got Hopkins and Hunt, didn't miss a beat. That's Mahomes is going to be the MVP if they finish with the best record. So Mahomes at plus 650 is a nice one. Hurts plus 1,200. Jaden Daniels. I'll tell you what, Washington is, they're 7-3 now. I don't think he's going to be the MVP. Brock Purdy, all right. So to me, it's a 3-person race: Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Mahomes. I don't look at Hurts or Daniels or Purdy seriously for MVP this year. Not at all. Not with those other 3. Lamar, Mahomes, and Allen class by themselves. Especially Lamar with the stats. Check some stats. Tell you what, I was watching Micah Parsons completely disrespect his coach. What is up? What is up with the guys leading with disrespect these days? It's bad. We don't have a race problem. We don't have a diversity problem. We have a respect problem. Young people lead with disrespect. They think there's something tough about it. I'm so disrespectful. You're a jerk. Like, that's not cool. You ruin things before they even start when you start off disrespectful. I don't know why this young generation, like, when I saw Micah Parsons, like, say that, he was really out of line. I don't care how you feel. Way out of line. Leading with disrespect. That's why fans, a lot of fans that are older, we don't respect these players. Because when you lead with disrespect, you're not getting respect back. I got news for you. You're not getting it back. Like, you give respect to get respect. When I saw Michael Parsons say that, I was here at 49ers fight. He missed the field. I've been waiting to see the beginning of this. Why did Debo snap on did he snap on the kicker and the snapper stuck up for him? He did win the game with the last kick, the kicker. He stinks, though, Moody. I don't think you know what? We got to give San Francisco a chance. I just was about to say I don't think they're going anywhere, but McCaffrey's been back 1 day or 1 game, so we got to see. I'll tell you what, he looks chubby as Nooch at 40-something. He looks too big, man. You know what? Like, he got himself double tendonitis in his feet. All that, whatever the hell he was on, looking like a horse. McCaffrey is looking like a little too husky, if you ask me. You don't need to be like that. Like, he's enormous for him. I remember him on Stanford, and when he came into the league, like, this is crazy. He looks like a water buffalo. Shit. So, yeah, the waiver wire, there's something going on. These guys are doing some crazy shit because there's a lot of guys gone. Now, in my league, the waiver wire, I've been doing good. I just can't win. I have the worst record I've ever had. Here I am again, my own league, the Nooch FFL. I'm in 9th, 3-7, and the number 6 person is 5-5. I'm 2 full games out with only 4 left. Kiss it goodbye. Let's see about T. Rich's league. I'm in the playoffs right now, but I got a hard game against Bono this week, and then I got Zolman the week after, and we made the trade against each other. So I got to hopefully get him. Let me see my last league. These guys sleep a little bit. These guys are a little sleeping at the wheel. in the waiver wire department. I'm gonna hoist a little robbery right here. Daniels. Here's my starting team in Carmelo's league. I'm 5-5, and I'm in the number 6 seed. I'm in the last playoff spot. Quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Receivers, Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown. Running backs, Montgomery, Najee Harris. Tight end, Ertz this week. Flex, Kamara, and Harrison. Harrison's on a bye. Shit. All right, I got Juan Jennings. Juan, get in there. All right, who's my defense? Chargers against the Bengals. Chargers got a good defense, but the Bengals are filthy on offense. I don't know if I should keep the Chargers defense in for Sunday night. And Koo, he's a good kicker, but this fucking guy, every time I start Koo, I get a 2. Like it happened to me again this week. I just think I got bad luck with Koo. I'm going to get rid of Koo because I never win when Koo is on my roster. Anybody else, like, anybody have like a rat like team or player, like as much as it makes sense that day or you go with him, it just never happens for you? That's Koo for me. I'll drop him. He'll bang 6 field goals. Forget Koo. Let's see what we got here on the waiver wire. I think I'm going to start Jennings and just chill. Am I going to start DeMario Douglas, Keenan Allen, Madison? No. These waiver wires are getting thin, boys. You know why? The amount of injuries. Everybody's got injuries. You got guys on major buys. Man, I can't believe Jaden Daniels has a week 14 bye. What kind of shit is that? Anthony Richardson's like out of the league. That was my original quarterback. I'm going to have to find a good week 14 quarterback. Like I'm not even rostering a second quarterback right now, and I'm thinking about it. Jaden Daniels is my guy. The quarterback I select is probably going to make or break my season in the JFFL and Carmelo's league out in Florida. Those 2 leagues, if I make the wrong choice week 14, you got guys like Kurt. Oh, that's tough. This is going to be tough. They're trying to sell me with these discounts for the NBA. I'm not betting no 3. You know what? I'm good at calling a guy that could get 15, 20. Oh, Embiid's back against the Knicks tonight. Oh, I get the game. I don't get MSG, but I get the Philly channel. Looks like I'm watching the Knicks, huh? I tell you what, I got to start streaming MSG or something. I've had it with that shit. This is like 3 years, 4 years, and that. Now, about 3 years, we don't get the Knicks. I get the Flyers. I get the Eagles. I get the Sixers. I get the Phillies. I get the Mets. I get the Jets, the Giants, the Yankees, the Devils. I don't get the Knicks. I don't think I get the Rangers either. I think the Rangers are on MSG. There's a couple. Yeah, I don't get. What is the big deal? How could we be in the triangle in Jersey with South, North, and everything? They take away MSG. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Oh man, I'm gonna take a quick peek. There's nobody on our waivers. I'm not even going for anybody. I rejected Nate's trade. Washington, Philly Thursday night. I got a teaser going on that one. I had Miami last night with a patience teaser. I got Washington Thursday night getting 6.5 instead of 3.5. That's a good one. Philly's looking strong, but I don't know. I'm not like. There's a lot of teams that are all mediocre. It's weird. The NFL's it's weird, man. As far as teams that I think could win it all, we got to look at the Chiefs. Like the way they just keep winning. I was telling my father, Dad, that's why Daniel Jones sucks, because he keeps having accidents. That Mahomes is the opposite of that. Like when shit is hectic, he gets through the fire and does something beautiful when the whole game was ugly. Jones is the opposite of that. He does beautiful things, then he falls on his fucking face with nobody around. That after a while, you got to admit it. He's clumsy. Like a bad ball handling quarterback is the worst because you'll just keep getting frustrated and frustrated. He throws nice. He runs fast. Well, what's wrong? Well, if you're not looking really all the way, you'll see. Oh, wow. Al Michaels is 80 years old. I'll tell you what, that's a guy that should stay in the booth. I'm not an age. I don't discriminate on age. John Sterling, if you miss one more damn call when I'm driving, listening to a Yankee game, how many seasons are you going to come back and torture me? Al Michaels, no problem. Sounds great still. Sounds like the Miracle on Ice from 1980 still when you hear him talk. Sounds great. John Sterling, Aaron Judge, one time he popped up center. He thought it was gone. Oh, my God, I made a mistake, Susan. Oh, my God. Wow, Mookie Betts bowled a 300. I'm seeing some crazy sports stats right now. I'll tell you what, good athletes could bowl. I was a decent bowler. Swear to God. One time when I was in junior football, like my 8th grade year, my father kept me out. He's like, "You're not playing football anymore." I'd say, "You play in high school, you're good." I saw all I needed to say. Like I couldn't even tell my father, like, I'm playing. Like, no, it didn't work like that. So I didn't play football my 8th grade year. Went to high school, everything was fine. He was right. He didn't want me taking extra shit. Plus, I played 3 sports. So I went in a bowling league to like just occupy my time on Saturday mornings and stuff. And I won the league. I was high average. And did I get high game? No, I got second high game, but I had the high average for the whole season. I was a natural bowler. I just thought of that because I'm watching Mookie Betts bowl. Now, I could never bowl 300. If I bowled every day, maybe I could, but who knows? Oh, John Robinson died today. John Robinson was the UNLV football coach when my running back from high school, Joe Harrow, went there on a full ride from Clifton. He became the running back, rushed for 1,000 yards at UNLV. John Robinson was the coach of that team. He passed away today. Rest in peace, John Robinson. Robinson was the coach of the Rams when we were kids. He was Eric Dickerson's coach, the great running back. Then, 10 years after that was when my buddy went to UNLV. Robinson came. He was his coach. John Robinson. Dak Prescott. They got Dak Prescott on the bottom screen of PTI. Hold that one. None of us care. Hey, we got fights this week, boys. We got fights. Tyson, Jake Paul. I'm not happy that Tyson's fighting, but now that we're here, I want to see it. And they know it too. They said Paul's getting 40 million and Tyson's getting 20 million. Imagine that. I think I'd get in the ring too for 20 mil. And, Tyson, he didn't go out the right way his last time. He was on drugs. He was in his mid to late 30s. Bums were knocking him out. And he was the most ferocious guy I've ever seen in my life. Mike Tyson has a score to settle with himself. He's not okay with himself the way he went out, messed up on drugs and not right because he just didn't have it. And he looked, it was like embarrassing. So for a guy that great to finish that bad, I think this is like the happy medium for him. Like they got him on testosterone. Like, have you seen him? He's 58. He looks like fucking Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, okay. So he's a little bit superhuman. However, here's where we got to stop. We got to stop, guys. That shit is all fake for the fans. Like watching them hit the pads. You ever see me hit the pads? You ever see somebody hit me? You know why? That's the important thing. I don't know if Tyson's going to be able to take a punch resistance. When you're 58, sometimes your balance goes a little bit. If he gets clipped by a Jake Paul punch, if he doesn't have his chin anymore, I don't want to see him hurt. So that's not cool. So all that ferocious shit is good if he could catch Jake Paul. I mean, I would love for Mike Tyson to knock Jake Paul the fuck out. I would love it, but I just doubt it. I saw Tyson at the end of his career 20 years ago, and we got tricked by the magic trick, the illusion. In 1997, 98, I was in high school. Tyson just got out of prison. He was the baddest fucking man on the planet. He's fighting Holyfield. We're at a party. Lomo's house. We're drinking beers. We're like in high school. We weren't supposed to be. And we all bet the fight. And we all bet Tyson. And Holyfield beat him. And then we just couldn't believe it. No, not Tyson. No way. Like, that's how devastating Mike Tyson was. We watched him lose. If we didn't believe it, 6 months later, we bet him again. Holyfield beat him again. Then he bit his ear off. Things got fucked up. But then Then he fought Lennox Lewis in 2003. I was already back end out of college. And he was, he was 36, 37, but he looked ripped. And they said, Mike's focused now. Oh, Mike's focused. He's chiseled. He's eating nails and shitting thunder. They built him up, and then Lennox Lewis knocked him out. And when he got knocked out by Buster Douglas and went to jail in 95, when he came out after that, I don't care if he won the title, he was never the same. The run he had into the 80s, 86, he won the title. He murked about 20 guys on the way to the title. You think McGregor's run was impressive? Watch Mike Tyson's run. Guys were falling like fucking trees, timber. And then he held the belt for 4 straight years. He reigned for 4 straight years, and then he got knocked out. But then when he got out later, he was never the same. Then later, kept getting knocked down. And then he said, I just don't have it. Now, 20 years later, he's 58. I'm 45 now. I know how things are getting harder and shit. A 58-year-old man's going to come in. Like, first of all, we got to check the ounces on the gloves. They probably got those big bear gloves where you can't really hurt the other guy. If they're wearing those big fucking paws, it's going to be a boring fight. No matter, like, it's hard to catch a guy clean with those monster gloves. So the ounce of the gloves, and then I think it's 2-minute rounds. When you only have to explode for 2 minutes, it's probably better for Tyson. But I'm not going to expect a Mike Tyson win. I just hope he doesn't get knocked out. He just fought Roy Jones 3 years ago. Roy Jones developed a glass fucking jaw 20 years ago. Got knocked out once, was stiff as a board, planking right from his back. Then he came back. We're like, oh, okay. Could happen to anybody. A guy tapped him like a graze shot. Boom, out, stiff as a board. He went stiff as a board, Roy Jones. Like the next 5 times, they didn't find like, Roy, you got to retire. Roy, the punch resistance is not there. Roy retired. Tyson fought Roy Jones like 3 years ago. Couldn't even get him out of there. Roy Jones, the wind could knock him out. And he was the best that one time. Shit changes. I never saw a guy lose it, get old, and then come back and be like, well, that guy lost his chin. He got knocked out the last 4 times. It's been 15 years. Man, he went through a war. His chin is back. I've never heard that. So I've never seen a guy's resistance go back improved. He could gain some strength with the TRT and all that shit, Tyson. They can make him look like Tyson, but he's still 58, and I don't want to really see him take a punch. And Jake Paul, wow, he's a heavyweight? These guys are weighing in a heavyweight? I guess so. Jake Paul's looking husky. He must be about 200 right now because he was 185 years ago when he was first starting to fight. He was much thinner. The NBA is getting to be such a joke. I'm watching Paul George, like Embiid. These guys are not playing. I'm not afraid of Embiid playing much. This is his first game. Paul George, he like tore an elbow ligament last year. Then the other elbow, shoulder. If Paul George runs into a pick, he's out for 3 months. I don't respect that shit. Like you buy tickets a month or 2 in advance, get to a game, the fucking guy's taking a night off. And then you wonder why, like, the NBA is down. This NBA is shit compared to, like, when I was growing up in the 90s and then even later in the 2000s. This is a down era. This is like pre-Magic Bird, like when the guys were, like, sniffing coke in the locker room. Like, and the league was, like, hanging on by a thread. Like, there's shit going on in the NBA that I don't like. They put a fucking AR-15 with a laser pointer in the tunnel. The Pacers players and the Grizzlies players were arguing. John Morant's boys put a fucking laser scope on the Pacers guy, and they caught it. They caught the whole thing. Like, that's out of fucking control. That's out of control. I don't like that shit. What fight? Oh, Yuma? Bone Crusher Smith, I think. Me, you, Daddy. That the first fight that I was ever at, we were ringside, and I remember the first fight I was ever at. James Bone Crusher Smith was fighting, and that's when they gave us the lids for our cups, and we didn't know what it was for. It was for the sweat or the blood popping out of the ring. That's how close we were in the fights, me and my parents. That was fun. That was awesome. Hey, Ma, your boy's playing tonight. Joel Embiid, your boy. My mom loves Embiid. First game. He played 39 games last season. Oh, he averaged 34.7 and 11 rebounds in 39 games. What is that? That's 39 games. This is ridiculous. I'm sick of that shit. Like, I don't want to see a guy sit for 50 games, play 32, and then the next year it's like, oh, did you see that move? I don't care. Like, I don't care how nice a guy is if he plays part-time. That's bullshit. Like, there's a lot of good guys in this world. Like, there's definitely a full league. However many guys are supposed to be in the NBA, you could definitely find 100% of the guys that are going to play like 70, 75 games. Unless it's a catastrophic injury where you need surgery. But if you're a breakdown guy, you got to go on like fucking punishment or something. Like, if you break down 2 seasons in a row for more than 20, then you got to go on less salary, and you're like some crazy. Like, they need to. But that's why they have unions. The players would never allow that shit. But I don't like that shit. The commissioner's a wimp. You ever see Dickhead? That's what I call him because that's what he looks like. The commissioner. David Stern was tough. This guy's a wimp. They tell him what to do. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. At least we got, let's see, do we have a couple good games coming? Last week was one of the worst slates of games I've ever seen in my life, boys. Terrible slate. And one of the games I was so excited about was because the line was so goofy. I'm like, wait, the Cardinals are in first place. The Jets stink. Why are the Jets a road favorite today? Wait, that was my who the F are the Jets it was. We put the Jets in that blank. Who the F are the Jets to be in a road favorite at Arizona? East Coast team on the road, 425. The team their players in first, and they're in first. That's how stupid the odds makers think of the fans. Think about that. Think about this, guys. What do the odds makers think of the fans' IQ this past weekend? The shitty Jets were in Arizona, traveling across the country, 425, playing the first place Cardinals, and they were the 3-point favorite. Just so Vegas could have everybody betting half and half. And still half of the bettors took the Jets and laid 3. That's preposterous. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. That shit team was laying 3 on the road. We identified that in the live. We identified that one. Let's see who we got here this week. Week 11. Oh, man. We're almost in oh, man. Okay, Commanders, Eagles. That's a tricky game. Right away, Thursday night. Tricky. We love the Commanders because of what they're doing, but the Eagles are coming on. Sirianni doesn't kick field goals. Philly's a good team to fuck up a spread in a close game. Sirianni doesn't kick field goals when he's supposed to. When he doesn't, he does. When he does, he doesn't. That guy's an unpredictable guy. More power to you for keeping Philadelphia's kicker, Tyler. I wouldn't roster Jake Elliott. Sirianni's always making a crazy knucklehead decision to not do it against the analytics. I don't even know what his chart is. It doesn't match mine. Jacksonville at Detroit. Detroit just won a game and threw 5 interceptions in the game. The last time a team threw 5 picks and won was the 1970 Colts versus the Bears. Fucking Johnny Unitas. I looked that one up. That's the last time that shit happened. And the line that's another team. That's a sign. That's a positive sign to me. When a team plays with all those mistakes and still finds a way, like Detroit, that's like Kansas City on the other side. That's the Super Bowl, like to me, like the front runners. Now in Buffalo, we're going to have something to say. You could have an overtime game, 7 gazillion overtimes. I don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs, but those teams are going to be battling with KC. It's not going to be that easy. But in the NFC, I'm not seeing none of these teams on Detroit's level. Detroit, boys, remember this. There's something to be said for growing a team. In this day and age, not too many teams get to grow. Detroit is one of them. Goff. The Rams got rid of them a couple years ago. See ya, we don't want you. We need to win. Now they're coming. Last year, NFC Championship. St. Brown, a couple years. Now he's a star. Now they got the best running game in the league. Double trouble at running back. Montgomery and Gibbs took a shot with Hutchinson out, but still solid team. Is Green Bay like that? I don't think so. Minnesota, I don't know. I would go with Detroit over Minnesota, like gun to my head, so to speak. I would never pick Minnesota over Detroit with what I've seen this year. My personal opinion. Bears, they're wiped out. The Eagles and the Redskins, I don't put them in Detroit's category just yet. Man, no, I got Detroit by themselves. I got Buffalo, Baltimore, and KC at a table together. I got Detroit at their own table in the other side. And boys, that NFC West, I'm telling you, everybody ignored it going into Sunday morning. The Cardinals were in first to start the day, and they were home dogs. Now they're really in first. Cardinals, 6-4, first place. Niners, 5-4, they're coming. And then the Rams and Seahawks are 4-5 each. The Rams fucked up last night losing to Miami. And here's another one. Tampa Bay is not coming. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to catch Atlanta. I don't know. Forget about the Saints and Carolina in that division. Tampa Bay. Atlanta, Kirk Cousins, Bijan. That's going to be a talented window dressing team in the playoffs. You're going to have a game like Atlanta versus Detroit, and Detroit will kick the shit out of them by about 30. Remember that one. Philly and Washington. These are tough. Now, the AFC, like we said, Buffalo. There ain't even another team in that division competing. Miami, 3-6. Jets, 3-7. New England, 3-7. Forget that division. Now here, Pittsburgh and Baltimore, 7-2, 7-3. Cincinnati, 4-6. I'm sorry. There's too much ground to make up. I don't think so. But there's a lot of teams with losing records. Like Cincinnati would have to catch at 4-6 to make the playoffs. Denver's 5-5. They're the number 7 seed right now. Wow, look at that. With 7 teams getting in the playoffs, now I see why they're all talking about, oh, can Cincinnati do it? Because you're not mathematically out. You're not even close. The last cutoff team in the AFC is Denver. Here's the 7 in the AFC right now. KC, 1. Buffalo, 2. Pittsburgh, 3. Houston, 4. Baltimore, 5. That's fucking strong, man. 6 Chargers. Love that. 7 Denver with that defense. That's tough. Indy's behind them at 8. They suck. The only team I see making a run is Cincy. The Jets are 3-7. They're 2 full games out. That's disgusting. They should be ashamed of themselves. Let's see the NFC. 1-7. Detroit, number 1. Philly, 2. Atlanta, 3. Arizona, 4. Minnesota, 5. Washington, 6. Green Bay, 7. San Fran would not be in the playoffs. If the season ended today, San Fran's out at 5-4. Wow, look at that. See, in the AFC, the first team that's out is under 500 by a couple games. The NFC, you got a lot of teams right there. San Fran's 8 at 5-4. 9th is the Bears, 4-5, right there. 10th Rams, 4-5. You got like 12 teams in the NFC that are all jockeying for playoffs. In the AFC, you could pretty much boil it down to out of the 7 that are going to get in, maybe 9 are competing. Maybe 9. Everybody else, it's a wrap. So the AFC it's done already. Man, love this. See the lines, early lines. I'm going to get off. Oh, man, it logged me out. Oh, thank you. They don't want me to lose my money. All right, let's see real quick. I haven't been loving these games. I won last week, but I played scared. I won a little bit, and that's it. Jaguars, 13.5 at the plus 13.5 at Detroit. Oh, that's crazy. Green Bay, minus 5.5 at the Bears. Watch the Bears show up in division. Dangerous. Rams are minus 4.5 at Pats. They should take care of business. Who knows? Drake May, young guys coming up. Who knows? Cleveland, plus 1.5. They got their ass whooped by the Chargers, and then they went on a bye. The week before that, Jameis threw for 1,000,000 yards. New Orleans just beat Atlanta. That's why the line is where it is. New Orleans is favorite. I got to say I like Cleveland, man. Minnesota -5.5 at Tennessee. Ugly games. There's a lot of ugly games. Colts at Jets, ugly. Colts are +3.5. Oh, the Jets are favored again. Look at the Jets. Vegas will not take them down from that mantle. Raiders, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. That's a nice one. Why is Pittsburgh a 3-point dog at home? They're in first place. That's crazy. Seattle, San Fran, Atlanta, Denver. You got the offense against the defense. It's a weird one. KC, Buffalo. Why don't they flex that game? If KC Buffalo is 425, is there a chance that they could flex that to 820? Because I like the Bengals Chargers, but I'd rather see KC Buffalo. They should flex that. But Joe Burrow's a big enough star, and the Chargers, how they are with Herbert and Harbaugh. But we got some good games, boys. So yeah, I'm going big game hunting. I'm taking on Bono this week. And we're going to the playoffs. I'm going to do my Friday picks. We're going to get a couple things on, and I'll be going live soon. 45 minutes. I'll see you guys later.